Have you ever wondered if someone was influencing your thoughts without you even knowing it? It might not be as dramatic as you think. Manipulation happens in small, subtle ways every day, often without our conscious awareness. In today's video, we're diving deep into the chilling psychology of manipulation. How do manipulators get inside your head? And more importantly, how can you spot their tactics before they've completely taken control of your mind? By the end of this video, you'll not only recognize these techniques, but also know how to protect yourself from them. This is a must-watch, especially if you've ever felt that nagging feeling that something isn't quite right in your relationships or work life. Manipulation isn't always about loud, obvious actions. In fact, some of the most insidious forms of manipulation are the ones that happen under the radar. Manipulators are experts at reading people. They know how to exploit your emotions, your fears, and your desires. But the real danger? They're so subtle that you might not even realize it's happening. One of the most common forms of silent manipulation is gaslighting. If you've ever been told, "You're overreacting," or "That didn't happen like that," only to later question your own memories or emotions, you've probably experienced gaslighting. Over time, this tactic makes you doubt your perception of reality. At first, it may seem innocent, but the longer it goes on, the more it messes with your self-confidence. A manipulator will plant these seeds of doubt until you start second-guessing everything about yourself. The goal here is simple: control. When you lose faith in your ability to trust your own perceptions, you become more reliant on the manipulator's version of reality, making it easier for them to guide your actions. And the worst part? You may not even realize it's happening until it's too late. Let's talk about emotional manipulation. Manipulators are experts at recognizing your emotional vulnerabilities. They know exactly what makes you feel guilty, insecure, or fearful, and they'll use these feelings to their advantage. This is where we encounter tactics like love bombing or guilt tripping. Love bombing is when someone overwhelms you with excessive affection, flattery, and promises in the early stages of a relationship. They create an emotional dependency, making you feel like you're the center of their world. But as soon as you're emotionally invested, they pull back. Suddenly, you're left chasing that initial feeling of affection, trying to win it back. It's a vicious cycle, and it makes you more susceptible to manipulation. Another example of emotional manipulation is guilt tripping. A manipulator will make you feel responsible for their happiness or well-being, even when you have nothing to do with it. They may say things like, "After everything I've done for you, you can't even do this one thing for me?" This forces you into a position where you feel obligated to act against your best interests to avoid feeling guilty. What does this work so well? When your emotions are engaged, logic takes a back seat. You stop thinking critically, and instead you act on impulse, driven by the need to avoid discomfort or gain approval. That's exactly what manipulators want, to put you in a position where you're acting emotionally, not rationally. Now let's dive into the power of language. Words have an extraordinary impact on our thinking and perceptions, and manipulators understand this better than anyone. The way someone speaks to you can influence your behavior in profound ways. For instance, a manipulator might say something like, "You're being too sensitive," or "You're just imagining things." These are what we call gaslighting phrases. They don't directly challenge your beliefs. Instead, they make you question your emotional responses and perceptions. In essence, they make you think that you're the problem. Manipulators also use negative reinforcement and reframing to change your perspective. They might tell you that your feelings are wrong or your reactions are over the top, leaving you unsure whether your thoughts and emotions are valid. This is the essence of psychological manipulation. By altering your perception, they control how you respond to situations, making you easier to influence. Another classic tactic is emotional invalidation. A manipulator might dismiss your feelings altogether, saying, "That's not important," or "You're overthinking this." It's a way to diminish your self-worth, subtly making you feel like you don't have the right to your own emotions. And over time, that can wear you down. Out of the most dangerous forms of manipulation is the illusion of choice. A manipulator makes you feel like you're in control of your decisions, when in reality, they've already shaped the options available to you. It's a clever mind game. You believe you're making independent choices, but every option has been subtly influenced to serve their interests. For example, a manipulative boss might give you two choices. You can either take on this new project or risk falling behind. Both options come with pressure, but they leave you feeling like you've made the decision. What you didn't realize is that both choices were designed to benefit the manipulator, not you. This is how they make you feel empowered while actually controlling the outcome. In relationships, this tactic works in a similar way. A manipulator might present you with choices that seem fair, but ultimately, no matter what you choose, they get what they want. The illusion of choice keeps you compliant, thinking you're acting of your own free will when in fact, they've already won. Now that you understand how manipulators work, let's talk about how to protect yourself. The first step is self-awareness. Recognizing when you're being manipulated is half the battle. If something feels off, trust your gut, listen to your instincts, and don't let someone dismiss your concerns. Next, set clear boundaries. Manipulators thrive when you lack strong boundaries because it allows them to push you beyond your limits. Don't be afraid to say no, even if it feels uncomfortable. The more you practice asserting your boundaries, the harder it will be for anyone to manipulate you. Finally, build your self-esteem. Manipulators prey on people who feel insecure or uncertain about themselves. The more confident you are, the harder it is for someone to control you. Work on reinforcing your sense of self-worth, whether through positive self-talk, seeking supportive relationships, or practicing self-care. Among the most powerful techniques you can use is called the 10-second rule. When you feel manipulated or pressured to make a decision, take a step back and give yourself 10 seconds to think. This simple pause will help you regain your clarity and resist the impulse to act emotionally. In those 10 seconds, you'll be able to think critically, weigh your options, and make a decision that's best for you. If you found these insights valuable, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more content on how to protect your mind from manipulation. Share this video with someone who might need it. You never know who's being manipulated right now and could use this information to break free. Your mind is one of your most valuable assets, and it's time to start protecting it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video, where we'll unravel even more psychological mysteries together. Until then, remember, never let anyone control your mind without your consent.